let's get into this matchup. PvZ, as in the top right-hand side. Our red Zerg player is Elazer, taking on the blue Protoss. It is ShoWTimE. This is on the balanced test mod, of course. If you're just tuning in, if you just saw the player names and the title of the stream, like, ooh, cool matchup. This is on the balanced test mod, so these are the proposed changes in play. And we'll have a look to see what they're all about, of course. Now, talked a lot about what's been going on early, and we'll kind of bring them up as they maybe become apparent. But a couple of things to mostly keep an eye on is maybe the creep spread clearance from ShoWTimE's oracles with the cheaper revelation and the light tag. Perhaps maybe we see some effect of the queen range defensively against a wall prism, because queens have less anti-air now. And perhaps we see that battery overcharge, buffing up that shield battery to try and stay very defensive as well. As we get this underway. As the spawning pool is on the way up. So hatch, gas and pool. Early game opening isn't really too crazy at all. ShoWTimE takes a very far forward wall off. So it's going to be walling off. So instead of putting the pylon down like here and going do, he's going to go do, and I guess do. And then that means he's already got one part of the wall here, so that later he can go doop and add another building. And then you wall off this entrance up from the low ground here. Well, I mean, this it's not really... It is a low ground, but it's like this little dip, basically. So you can wall that off. It's kind of like a half pipe. I guess it's like the StarCraft 2 equivalent of a half pipe. It's like... What StarCraft unit would make the best skater? And don't just say Marines because they're humans. Like, let's get creative here. I'm trying to think. I don't actually know. I don't have any. I don't have a Hellion. Well, a Hellion's just... I mean, a Hellion isn't really... I mean, a Hellion's just going to be able to go up and down it itself, right? A Reaper? Reaper can just... Reaper's kind of OP, right? Because it can just, like, jetpack away if it's going to, like, fall off and die. Yeah, maybe. The Broodlord, guys, I get the feeling the Broodlord is not going to... Do you think the Broodlord's going to lay down some sick tricks on the half-pipe? Adept coming through and cleans up a Zergling on the bottom side. As we do see a few probes continuing into play. Phoenix on the way, as this was a Stargate opener. And it's Phoenix first from ShoWTimE, so he'll go and clean out this Overlord that is making its way into the main. And then he'll go into his Oracle. We'll see what he wants to do from there. As that Zergling, speed is about halfway done, and a third hatchery about to finish up from Elazer as well. Phoenix will get the Overlord, able to take that down, and just going to see this Oracle going to finish in a few moments' time as well. So, yeah, obviously Overlord sees this. Now what comes up next? Is there anything crazy? Is there anything too out of the ordinary? No, it's just another Oracle. So, 2 Oracles here, maybe 3 in the end, but this is not going to be like a double Stargate Phoenix. This is not going to be any trickery once he's killed off that Overlord now. This is going to be pretty straight up, and, you know, I can see where I want to go here as ShoWTimE. Oracle is back around the left side. Robotics facility dropping into the natural expansion as well. I'm just going to be seeing 7 more drones continuing up with the Overlord about to finish in the main base. And of course we do have this Phoenix, the Oracle, moving around the top here. So Phoenix and Oracle coming around, and another Oracle of ShoWTimE coming across. Single Zergling runs through the top side, another Ling around the bottom right. Just going to be seeing 5 more drones, 4 more Lings. Evolution chamber, all of that underway as the Phoenix starts to tag up this Overlord. And will be the escort of these Oracles into the main base. This way, gentlemen, as we have some drones to kill today. And it's like, oh no, this Queen's waiting for us. Lifts up one of them. He's like, get out of here, guys. And he's going to get them out of there nice and safely. How about that? Best escort you could ask for. Phoenix, a Guardian. Nicely done. All right, so melee upgrade continuing to come on through, and we do just see our melee upgrade coming into play. The lair starts in the main base as well, so upgrades with a lot of extra gases Looking to play like a Ling Bane kind of style. Now, ShoWTimE, this is what we were talking about a little bit earlier, this creep denial. Creep is now tagged as light. The Adepts actually clean up this creep a lot faster. But the other big change to help clean out this creep is the Oracle Revelation. It costs half as much and it doesn't last as long. So it's better as he comes in and kills some drones here. It's better in the scenario of being able to deny, you know, smaller units. So it's being, you know, anything that you don't want to keep a Revelation on for a long time, like creep spread, like maybe like the quick Widow Mine you want to clean out. In that case, the Oracle Revelation is above. It's a bit of a nerf to the Oracle if you want to like tag 2 medevacs and follow them around the map. Or like tag a drop lord and keep, you know, track of it. Because now you won't keep track of it for anywhere near as long. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I actually just think it gives you a lot more potential. And what we do see, this is pretty interesting. These, what's interesting here is I feel like these Adepts wouldn't have necessarily got these, you know, gotten a couple of these creep tumors before, as Hallucinations go in the main to check this. There's a Hydralisk Den coming in. These Adepts going to get caught by Lings, but the Oracles are able to make a fight out of this, so they're going to be able to clean up a few of those Zerglings already anyways. And yeah, Temple Archives now on the way down in the main base. ShoWTimE starting to wall off up this right-hand side, so a few of these gateways getting to be established. You can see he's actually stacking energy on this third, so battery overcharge costs 75 energy. The shield battery here is, I imagine, the one he would like to go for. If he, I mean, it's the only shield battery right now, but it's a very safe shield battery, so we'll maybe keep an eye on that. As Elazer just going up to 5 bases as well, and it really seems like we've got a bit of a macro game on our hands here. A bit of a long PvZ, as we do see a Drop Lord ready to go from the back of the natural expansion. A Creep Tumor here getting picked off as well, so again, continuing to have a good time here, there, and everywhere with the denial of creep. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because PvZ is not always a matchup you spread a lot of creep on, or we don't talk about it a lot because there's a lot of the time where you don't necessarily, you don't pay as much attention to it because the pros play isn't as active on the map, on the ground usually, as like a Terran player is in ZVT. But creep is still important, and it still keeps you very safe. It still allows you to take better fights. So the more that you deny, the better you're going to be as a Protoss. So ShoWTimE's done a great job of that so far this game. As a Revelation drops down, we'll get a couple of kills up on this top side. A couple more creep tumors going down. Again, just making a good job of this. Again, I feel like this is just all because those Revelations are that much cheaper. You can do this way more often. And even Revelates a few of these units on the way out. Just keep track roughly of where they might go. This is where the Revelation's a bit worse off, right? Where, you know, you're following these Hydras and you see them, and now you don't. Usually you'd have 15 more seconds of, oh, well, where are they? Now, obviously, the Oracles, if you're good with them and active with them, you can come back in. You can maybe drop another Revelation. But obviously that puts the Oracles at risk again. That gives the Oracles even more exposure to those Hydras and more chances for them to be picked off. As you see, even look at that double Revelation, really just trying to deny active tumor after active tumor. A lot of Zerglings out down to the south, as we'll see this 4th base is, well, almost ready to go. Nice force field here, will protect it, and there's going to be a defense there, no real issue, as you do see a few of those Zerglings going down. Elazer not wasting any time, by the way. Ling Bane Hydra straight into Greater Spire once he hits the Hive Tech, so ready to go straight into the later stages, as we do see an Oracle hitting a Revelation and catching a few of those Hydralisks. Blink is continuing up on the Twilight Council as the Oracles will find the Lings in the bottom right. So Blink as a follow-up to Charge. Obviously, that's kind of, you know, we've seen a lot more Blink in the matchup lately, but it's more of a mid-game, you know, investment against what is usually kind of like a Roach Ravager army, or at least Roach Ravager based. This is a very much so a Blink because I think he realizes a little bit of what Elazer is up to and what Elazer's getting to, and saying, well, I may need that Blink. Help my Stalkers out against Broodlords in the near future. Or have the choice to warp in Stalkers against Broodlords, just in case something catches me off. God, 2 of the 3 Oracles go down and make that 3 for 3. Mainland's just morphing in here. These Zealots are not going to have a fun time. ShoWTimE has Storm available, so a fight against these Hydras is not impossible. Storm is basically necessary for that fight, though, as Hydras will knock down the gateways here at the front, so opens up access to the natural. This might be a bit troubling for ShoWTimE because now feels like there's a bit of action everywhere. As High Templar getting blown up by some of the Banelings that made their way through here. It feels like Elazer has caught ShoWTimE a little bit out of position. And now ShoWTimE seems to be in quite a lot of trouble as Hydras and Banes continue to try and make their way up this ramp. On the left-hand side, High Templar and Zealots continue to try and fight these Hydras off. And the rest of this from Elazer is going to be able to continue pushing through. This set of rocks will go down. And that does just open this pathway for these Banelings to maybe make their way in as well. Archons able to get a few Zerglings. A lot more Zerglings of Elazer continuing into the middle of the map here. And a ton of Banelings from Elazer starting. So here we go. An Archon already picked up. Immortals pulling back. Elazer is going to go a couple different directions with this Lingbane Hydra army. It's 3 melee. Going to be about halfway done soon as we have our Banelings around the right-hand side. They're going to make their way forwards as we do have the Storms dropping down. A couple of kills so far. As you have Banes trying to run their way in towards the south side 6 o'clock base. Again, ShoWTimE just kind of gave up a little, and now Elazer is taking a lot. Because at this point, there's just, you know, Banelings everywhere. ShoWTimE is just not able to keep control of a single one of these Elazer armies. And this one now getting pushed back, but only after Hydra's already sneak into the main, into the natural. Banelings were already in the main. And ShoWTimE is already at a point where he's, what, you know, down 30 workers, almost 40. On the plus side, at least he is holding 4 bases, but Elazer's getting out of control. 5 bases moving to 6. A couple of extra Archons being brought in here. That's ShoWTimE. Especially just, I think, getting caught out of position and a little bit off guard in the initial fight. Just wasn't quite where he wanted to be. And that's what really made this a bit of a troubling scenario so far, is pressing forwards. A few creep tumors going down. This hatchery taking some hits. We do see a Storm at the front. A couple of Lings taking some damage. More Storms going down as Hydras and Banes will crash into this. ShoWTimE. He's going to take a hot shot on the Templar, so he loses one of them. Now they're all very low. Now they're all, what, one Baneling shot away from going down? There's +3 melee on these Banelings. ShoWTimE is essentially all in across the map, right? He's on 4 bases, yes, but there's so much going on for Elazer. ShoWTimE's economy is not where he wants it to be. He has to do damage on the map, which is why he's out here. But obviously, being out here is not the fight he wants to take. And Elazer overruns ShoWTimE to pick up this game number 1 of the series. Up by 1 in the bottom left, our blue Zerg is Elazer. Taking on the red Protoss in the top right-hand side, who just made that little error, and from there was not able to stabilize as much as he needed to. It's ShoWTimE in the top right-hand side. I feel like ShoWTimE and Elazer always have very fun series, very interesting series, lots of action, right? Like, and also I feel like it's not really a matchup. I want to say it's not really dominated by one player. I'm currently lacking to see just what the results are. ShoWTimE actually won quite a few against Elazer in a row. In 2020, they've only met twice. ShoWTimE beat Elazer 3-0 in the WardiTV 2020. And then the WardiTV Spring Championship, Elazer beat ShoWTimE 2-0. So they've only played each other in WardiTV events this year. ShoWTimE picked up a few more wins before that in 2019, but he did lose to Elazer in 2019 as well. So yeah, like I say, pretty back and forth. Overall, they're actually very close. 21-19 in series and 60-58 in maps, favoring Elazer in both of those. That's actually a pretty sick history. That's actually really, really sick. Wow, that's a great set of matches, actually. What a scoreline between the two of them. Damn. Oh, when I said it was close, I guess I was, I guess I wasn't really wrong, huh? Okay, well, as we go into game number 2, we have got a Cybercore just coming in at the front. Gonna see our warp gate is building up on the Cybercore here, and just having our Nexus building up on the natural as well. Road patrolling just out in front of the third. Looks like ShoWTimE got a hatchery block off, so slows Elazer to taking the third base instead, which is obviously quite nice for him. As we do see the probe around back towards the natural. Ling speed on the way. And the warp gate from ShoWTimE just on the way up on this natural as well. So a bit of build up here, and it is going to be a Stargate once more. So ShoWTimE going to open in a similar way to before. Stalker just hanging out beneath this Overlord, and Stalker and Adept together will be... Well, Adept goes to plug the hole in the wall basically, and the Stalker now up in the high ground, up in the rafters, is... For some reason Elazer pinging over. He's like, oh my god, I've got Zerglings, casters, look at this. Look at this sick Zergling collection. I've got 4. Creep will be closing the distance between the third base and the main. So that's always important, right? Because especially against the Stargate, mobility of queens and being able to relocate those is necessary against where you think the oracles are coming from, etc. That can be very important. I mean, just being able to relocate queens easily in general is an important aspect of defense, so being able to have the creep coming back towards the natural and the main base makes a lot of sense in the early stages. Rotron building in the main from Elazer. We do just see a thing still out the front here, just patrolling around on the upper side. Stalker already jumping onto an Overlord, and Overlord is going to be just about able to get to the high ground. Went a little bit too far, but ShoWTimE wasn't there to take advantage of it. This Overlord was really slipping and sliding all over the place, unable to just stay above that ledge. He has one job, don't mess it up. Adepts around to the top left-hand side. As you do see, Rotron is about to finish up from Elazer. The extra Zerglin still in production, and 2 oracles of ShoWTimE around the far left. There's Zerglin on a bit of a patrol in the robo facility in the natural expansion too. Depth coming forwards and already finding 1 Zergling to start. There's 4 crawler here, so just the queens, and well, that just means that ShoWTimE has a field day straight in for 6-7 worker kills already. Let's make that 8 actually, so 8 worker kills. And these oracles obviously still staying fairly healthy. A little worrying that they stay on the edge of creep there. Maybe the queens could have chased to get a kill if ShoWTimE wasn't paying attention. Maybe he was paying attention and he would have moved it if he saw the queens continuing to chase on the mini-map or so. So yeah, nice start from ShoWTimE. The sort of damage you would like to get done early. As the Forge on the way up in the main base, the second gateway. In the main as well, is already 2 on the low ground, so it's obviously not the second overall, but just building up here. ShoWTimE off the back of some good economic damage and coming through to deal a bit more again. Oh no, you're kidding me. 1 HP Oracle gets out of there. That is a little bit disgusting. Every time a 1 HP unit gets away, you've got to get a little bit disgusted at what's going on, right? As 9 more drones going to build. We do see the +1 attack on the Forge coming up. Extra sentries coming through. All of this from ShoWTimE joining up between the natural and the third base. And those probes just going to be mining across on the third base at the moment. Zerglings of Elazer coming out through the center. And 1 Ling already moving across to the far right-hand side. Adept and an Immortal cleaning up that 1 Zerglin already as well. So able to pick that off as we do see the sentries. Able to deal some good damage to this Overlord. Overlord taking a bit of a beating. And now this Phoenix coming in is going to get straight in on top of this Overlord as well. So Overlord will die. 5 more gates coming up. The Temple Archives charge. +1 attack upgrade. All the good stuff as our hallucination flies into the main base. Queen and the Spore Crawler quick to deal some damage. Phoenix, or hallucination, sorry, pushed away up the left-hand side. Queen in the front gets picked off already. Zerglin still trying to come and move forwards here. Queen can take a bit more damage as well. And actually that Queen going to get chased down. These 2 oracles continuing to give chase as the other Queen shows up and the oracles get pushed back. A few Lings on the third. They didn't do much damage here. Zealots warped in quickly, and Zealots handled that situation. This charge going to continue along. The extra gateways coming into play. The cannon starting on the third base as well. And just going to be seeing a lot more drones. Melee upgrade, Banelest. All the upgrades you need to see for this Lingbane Hydra to get rolling. So last time, Elazer really made a play to go into the Hive and really towards the Broodlords very quickly, right? In that option, at least. He didn't actually need the Broodlords in the end, and he identified that when he started doing so much damage. He's like, actually, I can just Lingbane Hydra you to death, but he had that Great Aspire there ready for the late game. We'll see if he approaches it the same here on Everdream. Everdream is another of these maps that can actually split quite nicely because you end up, defending forward bases, which means you can naturally get to a lot of bases very easily. You pull away here. ShoWTimE in general only lost one probe so far. Throughout all of this harassment, there's been multiple attacks attempting to go in on the right-hand side. Couple of Archons morphing in. The Zealots coming in here. Ooh, a Ravager and some Hydras getting caught off guard. So where ShoWTimE got caught off guard last time, maybe Elazer does this time, is pushing through. Well, there's Banes over here again, and they're going to crash in. Shield Battery, they can actually maybe continue in. There's this big fight about to break out as well. Banelings do find some connections, but there's lots of Zealots still to be had. I don't think those Banes are going to do anything, so let's keep watching over here as ShoWTimE. Oh, gets an Archon caught by Zerglings. That's obviously never fun. He's got a couple sentries left, and they don't do much. A few reinforcing Zealots come in, and now he gets a bit of a surround on these Hydralisks. The force field gets broken down. There's just nothing here to clean up Zealots anymore, though, so ShoWTimE is going to overrun Elazer and pushing through. This is going to be able to clean up here and now, so yeah, good continued defense from ShoWTimE. It just means that Elazer doesn't really have enough at home to defend initially, right? Because you've thrown so many units out of third base that didn't actually get any kills or anything. GG, and ShoWTimE is going to take this and tie it up 1-1 in the best of 3. Bottom right-hand side, the blue Zerg is Elazer. And the top left, the red Protoss, is ShoWTimE. How about that for some quick, easy intros? No build-up, no nothing. As you see the assimilator from ShoWTimE dropping down in the main base, and a pylon from ShoWTimE dropping down on the low ground. So getting ready to expand, getting set up here early. As the assimilator gets going, drone coming through, probe in production. And this overlord of Elazer already out, up, and towards the center and toward the upper left-hand side. So nothing too crazy here. This overlord continuing to make its way up to the top left. So you just see a hatch, the gas. Perhaps the spawning pool coming up very soon. Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it? As the overlord continues to the top left-hand side. Probably just come down in towards the nexus on the natural. Gateway will finish. And we do see the Cyber Core dropping in as well. Still just seeing the hatch and the pool, etc. All of this continuing up on game 3 of the series. So just getting ourselves underway. Exciting stuff, though. Some cool games so far, and a couple of games that have obviously gone very differently. Two queens and two lings building. Nightshade, obviously one of the maps which is always scary in case there's a this queen march across the map, right? It's one of the maps where you see that happen all of the time. As this adept is chrono boosting out, is going to be rallying across down the bottom right. A couple lings from Elazer going to split away in two different directions. And two lings coming towards the front as well. The queen's going to be finishing very soon. And hey, thank you so much, Frosthaze, for the 515 bits. Much appreciated. As do you have the... Yeah, let's target the third game in a row. Pretty cool. Hey, sorry, I also didn't say Getya. 5-month resub says, woohoo, got my Twitch Prime back. Love you, Wardy. Thank you so much, Getya. Glad you got your Prime back. Guess using on the channel. And again, Frosthaze, thank you so much for those 515 bits. Very generous, appreciate it. Thanks for supporting. As we do have the Queen injecting on the main. Third hatchery here from Elazer is going to be, well, finishing up very soon. As the two Adepts negotiate and buy in towards the main base. A few Zerglings getting picked away at. Actually gets all the Lings on the low ground there. There's a couple up in the main though, and the Adepts, well, they're just going to commit. What can they do? Second Spore build doesn't get it. So two Drone Spore Lings for two Adepts. That's not bad. This Spore Crawler might just even stick around because you know what? The Oracle's already on the way across the map. So why not keep the Spore Crawler as ShoWTimE This time Oracle first, no Phoenix. So a little bit of a difference there, not going into any Overlord killing in the early stages, as we do see the Queen able to deal some damage to the Oracle. A few drones going down. 4 drones picked away as we do have the Oracle out on the right side. Healings coming up to the top. I'm just going to be seeing the Nexus on that 3rd base. The Oracle is ShoWTimE. Moving around as you just see the drones coming up and a couple of spores continue to build as well. Our Oracle still sat out in the center. Zerglings make their way into the middle here on down towards the bottom side. Queen's coming through and just going to be seeing the Oracles dropping a Revelation down. This spore crawler already in a little bit of trouble as the robotics facility building up. There's going to see the shield battery in the 3rd base. And our adepts will begin to move their way out across the map here. The Oracle coming along to join in with this. It's going to be 2 Oracles together. Do you like these few adepts and the Oracles? Obviously, I mean, can definitely create some pressure, definitely forces some units right away. Lasers already just 41 drones and making roaches, so it might be time for that march across the map. What I do wonder about is then, where do you defend as ShoWTimE? Because typically the defense, sometimes you make it happen like here. But now if you've got a photon, photon battery overcharge, whatever we're calling it, battery overcharge, you kind of want to defend near a Nexus, right? So does that mean you're more likely to defend towards your 3rd base? But then if the natural is under attack, it kind of means you have to build static defense in both locations. Well, ShoWTimE sees it coming. Looks like he'll just give up the 3rd base, pull the probes back to the natural. So it looks like static defense here will be the answer in the end. This shield battery there setting up. His Ling's already across, and they're going to get this shield battery on the 3rd, but ShoWTimE just sees this as an opportunity to clean up some Zerglings. Here you go, Ravager's morphing in, the Queen's moving across. This army of Elazer continuing as... Well, he sees that there's another opportunity for the Lings for the Oracles to get some Zerglings, right? Where the Queen's just a little bit too far away. Elazer already droning behind this, so he's already preparing to transition away from this attack. He's not going to reinforce this any further than he's already done. Again, the Oracle's still defending the 3rd. If you can keep that 3rd base alive, that's obviously a really huge benefit. Cybercore now down. So what we'll build here is going to be mostly just Zealots. Of course, we've got a Disruptor in production too off that Robo base, so we'll keep our eyes for that as Lings still being picked away at. A couple force fields initially, and there's a lot of the transfusions from the Queens coming down. Oracles still have to stay away though from the Queens, and that's one of the bigger issues of all of this. Just what do your Oracles really do? Well, yeah, again, they've been very good. He's actually been very effective at just using them whenever he, whenever the Lings or the Ravagers split themselves away from the Queens. And now ShoWTimE makes a push forward to grab the Queens. The Ravager bars will get rid of that Nexus. But you just re-expand right as ShoWTimE. I don't think that's a major issue. You've killed a lot here. Now, I guess it's a bit of a shame not to have gotten rid of these Ravagers. I guess overall the income... It's a very interesting game actually, because ShoWTimE's obviously was just mining off 2 bases. So maybe... I think ShoWTimE leads. Elazer is in an alright position because he did decide to start transitioning out early enough. As the army of ShoWTimE comes through the center. Yeah, I don't think losing the 3rd is that big of an issue, right? Because the Zerg economy is much later coming online as well, and this counterattack too really slows down the Zerg economy because you're going to force the Zerg to really respect this attack and make units, rather than really just making the drones that he might want to saturate all these bases. I mean, I guess already on 63 workers. Army supplies dead even going into this moment of the game. Disruptor shot will land on a Queen to start. Again, I don't think ShoWTimE wants to go too far forwards here, but now he's going to have units running into him. He's got force field to buy some time. That's pretty much all of them. A few Banes do get through. He chases with the Disruptor shot, finds one Ravager. But now his Immortal's in a bit of trouble. These Adepts are trying to turn a fight as well. I mean, I guess you've just got to fight this. Oracles are going to show up as well, though. Oracles are massive in this scenario because obviously there's just no anti-air anymore. The Queens are gone. The Oracles with a bit of energy they have remaining come in, clean out the Ravagers for the most part. This last Ravager, the Oracle has like 10 energy left. It's going to get it. So the Oracles get the Ravagers. 2 Immortals did recall home. The Disruptors were lost, the Sentries were lost, but the rest was just Zealots and Adepts. And resources lost. There's a 2,000 difference coming out of this, so I think I like it for ShoWTimE now. Saturate on 3 bases. Okay, Elazer moving up to base number 4. That is great crisis management because I can't believe he got the 2 Immortals out alive. That's, I think, is absolutely astounding, right? Getting both the Immortals out alive? Wow. Genuinely impressed there as the Oracles staying alive in this as well. These Oracles have been absolute kings this game. 15 kills, 18 kills, 8 kills. Just a crazy, crazy number. 41 kills between them as we do have the... Well, obviously over here gets picked off also. ShoWTimE's just looking at his change like, huh? Hello? And we'll get rid of it in the end. Spire starts from Elazer, but there's no infestation pit or anything like that. So this is very much so a decision against what he's scouted. So he's seen the Colossi building from ShoWTimE. So now he's going to decide, okay, well, if there's Colossi coming up, I want to go into the... if there's Colossi coming up, what I want to do is I want to go in towards my Corruptors and get Corruptors out to really fight those Colossi off. So that's where we're at as these Oracles flying or staying around the bottom side. Do you just see a little bit of army here from ShoWTimE collecting together? Let's do attack, still chrono boosting the charge. Now done on the Twilight Council. These 3 Oracles just... Well, yeah, they're just going to hunt for opportunity, right? Why not? Such value. They've had so many revelations as well. As you can see, like, how much energy, like, an Oracle had used up throughout the game, or like how many times they'd cast certain spells, because I really feel like some of these Oracles at this point have cast so many revelations. Unfortunately, now they're going to get cornered in by Queens on one side, Hydras on the other. One will live to tell the tale. ShoWTimE just moves into that 4th base, and Elazer very much so seemingly he is stuck on Lair Tech. Obviously, Corruptor's coming out to try and get rid of Colossi, but Lair Tech will only last you so long. I mean, Lair Tech is kind of what you want to trade against here as ShoWTimE. Storm now in the way, so he's just going to approach this and, you know, fairly slowly. Not going to rush into a fight that he doesn't need to rush into. Colossi in the front already. Lasering down a Zergling, lots of Lings on the top side. A Zealot of ShoWTimE just positioned out to the right as well. More Zealots down to the bottom are going to go charging in towards a mineral line already. And they will come through. So a bunch of drones already being picked away at here. It's actually really nice. There's a few more Zerglings coming in. Hydras pressing forwards, and those few Zealots will be going down. So Zealots already cleaned out. More of them escaping to the left side. Psionic Storm still on the Temple Archives as well as the War Prism is going to lift up those Zealots. The Zealots will pull away to the left-hand side. Pylons in the front here from ShoWTimE, and add a couple of cannons onto that as well. So really, really safe here in case this is just going to be a big old bust. Which at this point I think it's fairly safe to assume there's something aggressive or some kind of attack coming, right? Because Elazer's not just on Lair Tech. He's not moving out of Lair Tech. And I'm not sure how much, you know, ShoWTimE has had some information around the bases. And he saw no sign of an infestation pit coming down when his Oracles were moving around. And there's a lot of Corruptors coming in with the Caustic Spray. That will be a Nexus already going down. Banes, Hydras, and Lings still establishing in the middle. The Corruptor's actually going in for the Colossi, and it's a really nice Storm. Archon's getting good damage onto this as well. More Storms on these Hydras and on these Banelings. Oh, I don't know. How about this? So many of these Banelings going down as they come crashing on through. How many of these Banelings have survived on 1 HP? Doesn't matter. The Colossi as well, still just a couple in the back, and that was just a horrible position for Elazer to fight into. Just 2 choke points next to each other. And ShoWTimE obviously has enough splash damage to control that, and ShoWTimE. That's 4-0 in the group, right? Clean, comfortable. Nicely done, GG's, and ShoWTimE takes it 2-1 over Elazer here in the Balance Test Mod Invitational.